the whole let Russ cook thing, which we have heard over and over again, that only crystallizes the final fateful moment. And I always love it when there's a primetime game that ends with a controversy, whether it's a bad call, a questionable decision, a memorable press conference, a fight, whatever, something that gets you jazzed up to talk about it the next day. I wanted to start the show immediately after the game ended, and I've been anxious to talk to you about this, and you and I haven't really exchanged many thoughts via text.
No.
Others have chimed in.
Well, I try not to. I don't want us to be too rehearsed or have our thoughts out there to where we
don't have to worry about us being too rehearsed.
Well, no, I know that. But
that's never going to be an issue here.
I like to keep it raw between us, and I think you're the same way. I don't want to let every football thought in my mind go on, to the text message chain that we're on, and so we can be fresh right here and not really know exactly what each other's gonna say. And we can react. I think that's when we're at our best.
Well, my thought was immediate, and I'm watching the game, and they had the third and ridiculously long, 3rd and 14, I think it was, maybe even longer than that. I think it was 3rd and 14. The pass to Javonte Williams, 3rd and 14.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm right for a change. And Williams makes a nice little gain out of it. There was a little flash there. I thought, holy crap, he's going to get to the sticks.
Right.
You see the Seahawks converge. So they get to the 46-yard line, left hash. Remember that. That's important. 46 left hash. And then it's tick, 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 tick. I don't understand this at all. You got 3 timeouts. The last I checked, to borrow one of your phrases, I checked the rule book. They don't carry over to the next game.
Yeah, right.
You got 3 timeouts. There goes the clock. They're in the huddle, and this was a common theme all night long. Get the play in,
Wow,
Nathaniel
that was a
Hackett.
problem, no doubt.
Russell Wilson, get to the line of scrimmage. Get your guys set up. I mean, what in the hell was wrong with them? But we're like, what's happening here? And then at some point, the decision apparently was made. Let's just run it all the way down to 0, kill the clock, and then we're going to bring out Brandon McManus to try what was a 64-yard field goal. It was the damnedest thing, and I don't think anybody really understood what was going on. I'm not sure Russell Wilson understood what was going on.
No.
And there's the kick from Brandon McManus. No good. And then they used their timeouts. At a time when anybody that's played any Madden knows you got 2 timeouts left. The other team has the ball first down with 15 seconds left. Why even bother to take a timeout?
The game's over, right? Exactly.
Why
right.
even waste your time?
Right.
Unless you're going to do the Greg Schiano
he wanted to get
torpedo the
going.
kneecaps.
Yeah.
That's right. They got to celebrate the win 3 times.
Right.
Unless you're going to do the Greg Schiano torpedo the kneecaps of the offensive line and hope they fumble the ball, there's no reason to take those timeouts.
Well,
unless he didn't want to have any left, unless he didn't want to have 2 left, so he would be. I'm sorry. Hey, this is big boy league. You want to be a head coach in the NFL? Because I felt bad about this. Like, am I going to be too hard on Nathaniel Hackett for this? Hey, man, this is the culmination of the sport. This is what you've worked for your whole life. And you can't piss down your leg. Sorry, London, literally.
Yeah.
You can't do that in this moment. You can't. And I think he did. Chris, I don't know why in the hell, and I'm trying to restrain myself here.
I
don't know why in the hell you kick a 64-yard field goal when you have made the investment of draft picks up and or out the wazoo. You have unlocked the Walmart vault for Russell Wilson. And there's so much in there, they barely even realized how much he took. But you've done all that. It's 4th and 5, not 4th and 15.
Yep.
Not 4th and 10. It's 4th and makeable. It's 4th and 5. And you go with a 64, not 34 or 44.
That's the point here. Right.
A 64-yard field goal. When did that become automatic?
Yeah.
When did that become even remotely makeable? That is desperation. We got no other shot. We got no other chance. There's no time left, even if we do convert 4th down.
Right.
That's the thing. You got 1 second on the clock, and it's either Hail Mary or 64-yarder. That's when you make that decision. Not 4th and 5 with 2 timeouts left. Even if you let the clock go all the way down to 20 seconds, you still got 2 timeouts. You convert 4th and 5. You don't have to get out of bounds. You can get in the middle of the field.
No doubt.
And you can make it a 54 or a 44 or even a 59-yarder. I've never seen anything like it. And and they were so easy on him. The Broncos media corps that was in there, they were so easy on him. Maybe they had yet to process it.
So was even Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. They weren't real critical either.
I'll shut up and let you talk about it, but he's got some tough questions to answer. And he doesn't answer us. You know who he has to answer to? Greg Penner, Rob Walton, and Condoleezza Rice, who knows a thing or two about football. They're going to have some tough questions for Nathaniel Hackett.
It's a rookie coach who made a rookie mistake. I mean, that's where, and it's, again, it's not an excuse. It's certainly not. But he obviously looked like he was flustered in that situation. I think at the base premise is like you laid it all out. But 4th and 5 with Russell Wilson as your quarterback, and the fact that you really moved the ball up and down the field the whole second half, right? Denver really was never stopped the whole second half. I would think the percentages of converting that were greater than making the 64-yard field goal. And obviously things seem unorganized, right? I mean, to the point where I'd like to show that whole video sequence again, guys, if we can, just to talk about that. Because I do think after they complete the pass to Javonte Williams, like you talked about, it seemed like, yes, there was confusion. And yes, it took a little bit. So we get the pass, and now we're going to call a play. And to me, it looked like they were legitimately going to call a play here for the good part of the 40-second play clock. Like, hey, we're going to call a play. Let's do it. Russell's trying to get people organized. They don't know what they want to call. So here he's kind of getting it from the sidelines. Now he kind of hurry up. Okay, let's get everybody out there. And this is where I don't know. Like, this is where, and I want to talk this out with you. Do you think at this point they're saying, hey, let's line up, and we're just going to kick the field goal and let the time go down here at this point? Or are they still trying to call a play here at this point, right? And to me, it looked like they were still trying to call a play, but then realized, wait, we're a little low on the clock. And at some point, Nathaniel Hackett gets in his ear, because right here, Russell Wilson has the body language of he already knows they're going to kick the field goal. Like the coach, the way he comes to the sideline, there was no discussion, and I wish we could play that even a little longer in live TV, where he walked right off the sideline and knew they were kicking the field goal. So at some point, Nathaniel Hackett got in his ear to go, hey, I'm just going to kick it. But I don't understand it. I don't understand any of the organization of that moment and what they did there, and it was bumbled. It was floundered. Whatever word you want to use, it wasn't used. It wasn't the correct way. That's for sure.
Well, think about this too. When does the speaker cut off? 15 seconds.
Yeah, under 15. Right.
Okay?
Right.
So maybe he heard that they're going to kick the field goal. Take a timeout, we'll kick the field goal. And I just wonder whether between 15 and 3 or 4, I wonder if he thought, you know what, I'm running the play. I wonder if that's what was going, because he kind of had a blank look on his face, but he still kept going through the motions.
Yeah.
Because once you know you're kicking the field goal. Now, see, the problem is at that point, you need your 3 timeouts if you miss. To have a chance of getting the ball back.
Right.
And ideally what they would have done is they would have gotten McManus out there quickly and kicked the field goal on a running clock. So if they did miss, they would have had their 3 timeouts to try to get the ball back for a Hail Mary or maybe a 74-yard kick.
So that tells that tells you at least that it wasn't on their radar right before the play. They weren't thinking, hey, if we get just close to the first down, let's say that tells you
46 left hash.
Right.
46 left hash. That's what McManus told them before the game.
Right.
46 left hash. Get me there.
Right.
And they did. That's why I mentioned it earlier. So that's when you mobilize. Get him out there, kick it, and then we'll have our 3 timeouts. Although, man, that's a hell of a needle to thread. Think about that.
Right.
We're going to rush him out there to do a 64-yard field goal.
Yes.
Which would have been second longest in the NFL. Let's rush him out there to kick it.
Yes, in history.
So we can hold our 3 timeouts.
Right.
While we also, if he makes it, we're giving the Seahawks more time to drive down the field and win with a field goal of their own. Look, that implies way too much thought at a time when I don't think there was any.
No, I don't think so either. I don't.
It was the opposite of strategy.
Yeah. I agree. I do. I think it was a little bit of, wait, we got caught in a spot here. Oh, no, I don't know what to do. We're on the fringe of Brandon McManus, who's a great kicker, and we know that he really is. But 64 yards, like you said, it's to be the second longest in the history of football. The percentages are not that great there. But, yeah, I think they got caught in a moment of, wait, do I want to risk not getting the first down and not even having an opportunity to kick the field goal, or do we just line up and kick it right now? And Yeah, they got stuck in between there. And then, of course, had to use the timeout. And that took away, any opportunity for them to get the ball back. But I would have even said, for the people out there who go, well, yeah, maybe if they just got out there, kicked a field goal, missed it, and had the 3 timeouts, right? Still, that wouldn't have given them much of a chance. I mean, even with that, I understand that. Seattle's going to get the ball, kneel it down 3 times, and then punt it down into the other end zone, or at least close to it, and you're going to have few seconds left to do something at that point. So that's where, I don't know if that really, makes sense, but none of it made sense. At the base level, it was get the ball to Russell Wilson. You move the ball all game long. He's made plays and been efficient the whole second half, and you got good receivers. Why wouldn't you just, get the pass to Javonte Williams, take a timeout, let's go to the sideline, let's talk about the plays we like on 4th and 5. Russell, what do you like? What do you think? Pete and them. What do you think they might call in this moment? What's your feel here? Okay, let's run 72X shell across, blah blah blah, and call the play and let's go with it. That to me was what I thought they were going to do. Even when it was the 20 seconds and you're going, why are they letting the clock run down? I just thought, okay, well, they're going to call timeout, and they realize they just need 1 more completion, maybe 2, just to feel really cozy, and there's 20 seconds left, so they'll be fine. I wasn't even in a problem there. But then when I saw Russell Wilson walk off and kind of like he unbuckles the chin strap, and he's talking to the sideline, like, let's go, and I'm like, wait, he's not meeting with the head coach there? And then I saw the kickers going out, and I looked at my wife, and I said, oh, no, Danielle. I said, Nathaniel Hackett, if they don't make this field goal, he's going to get roasted tomorrow. This is a big deal. And, my wife is sitting there going, oh, no. And, again, with Nathaniel, I worked with him in Tampa Bay. He's a great guy. He's a good offensive mind. But certainly had a rookie mistake in this moment. There's no doubt. There's no denying it. And he's going to have to answer these tough questions.
And this is one of the fundamental differences between being a coordinator and being a head coach. Because when you're the head coach, it goes nowhere else. You're the one who has to make the call.
Right.
You're the one who has to have this ready. Chris, help me understand, because I just assume from some of the people I know.
See, he knows right there. Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Everything is planned out, and everything has been envisioned, and every variable has been considered. I'm just stunned that you get in a moment like this. It's almost like we didn't expect to be in this situation where we had a gotta-have-it scenario where we needed a play where we could convert 4th and intermediate. Like, you don't have a plan ready to go. You don't have a decision ready to make. The only decision they had was 46 left hash. They believed and accepted Brandon McManus telling them the limit of his range is 46 from the left hash. So 46 makes it a 64-yard field goal. You had 18 yards. And they just accepted if we get it there, it's like the X on a treasure map. We just get it there and we'll be fine. The guy's still got to make the kick.
Yeah.
And he's 1 for 8 before last night from 60 yards or longer. That's 12.5%. Now, I'm no expert in analytics, nor do I care to be, but I just wonder who's running the numbers in Denver and who was whispering to Nathaniel Hackett that a 12.5% shot is better than whatever play they would have had to try to get 5 yards. I'd like to think your chances of getting at least 5 yards in a must-have scenario with Russell Wilson are higher than 12.5%. And if they're not, why did you trade for him and why did you pay him?
Yeah, I'd have a hard time believing that they don't have a list of plays for that type of situation. They do. Nathaniel Hackett, he just came from Green Bay. He's been around a lot of other great coaches. I don't think there's any doubt he's got the plays and the gotta-have-it plays in this moment. And so that I don't doubt. But the thing we're questioning is just, how he handled the situation and the pressure of the moment. And to me, to what you're saying, and I think we agree here, he just buckled under the pressure a little bit of, wait, I just want to make sure we get the field goal opportunity. And that's obviously, to me, and I don't think to anybody really, the right approach, especially this day and age in the NFL where it's set up for the star quarterback to take over in that moment. I mean, it is. It's Russell Wilson. He was unbelievable at buying time all night long and doing that. We know that if you throw the ball into some sort of crowd at all, there could be defensive penalty, defensive holding. there's so many things there that favor the offense in that moment. And then let alone, like you're explaining, you traded for a guy for this reason. This is why you traded for him. It goes back to this is almost like goes back to the Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers at the end there, where you go, wait, you realize you got the best quarterback in football, and we're punting it? What? We're doing what here? We're punting it? And that was in Seattle too, if you remember correctly. So, yeah, it just did not make sense, and obviously was a rookie mistake by Nathaniel Hackett.
Let's hear from Nathaniel Hackett and from Russell Wilson regarding the decision to let Russ watch instead of let Russ cook.
I thought Javonte made an amazing why I was expecting to have to go for it on that down and distance because I believe we were about 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15. I thought Javonte made an incredible play and put us in the field goal range, the mark that we were looking for. Yeah, we were right on the line, and he had plenty of distance. He just missed it. And so, and again, Brandon gave it his best shot. I mean, that's a long field goal to hit. I think he's completely capable of that, but obviously I wish we would have gotten a lot closer, but it put us in that weird spot there because we were in the field goal range, but we were on that 4th down situation. Didn't think we were going to get that many yards. So I thought it was a great job by Javonte, and we just made the decision. We want to take our shot there on that one.
We said, where can you make it from tonight? And he said 46 left hash. I think we were on the 46, right? 46 left hash. That was before the drive, and we got it there. Unfortunately, it didn't go in. I think he has a leg for it for sure. Just went a little left, I believe, and just, in terms of, I believe in Coach Hackett. I believe in what we're doing. And believe in everything, and anytime you can try to find a way to make a play on 4th and 5, that's great too. But also, I don't think it was the wrong decision. I think he can make it. Obviously, in hindsight, we didn't make it. But if we were in that situation again, I wouldn't doubt whatever he decided.
Look, one thing we know about Russell Wilson, when it comes to his public persona, he is as careful and manicured as any athlete has ever been. He's never going to tell us what he's really thinking. Surely, if he's the competitor that he has been his entire career, he's not happy that the ball was taken out of his hands. And he has to be thinking at some level, this is why you brought me here. It's 4th and 5. This is a 64-yard field goal. It's not field goal range. It is desperation range. It is, we have no other chance. What the hell? Let's go try a 60-yard field goal. We have not normalized 60-yard field goals. 50-yarders have become normalized because the kickers are better than ever. 64 is still too far. And 1 for 8 in his career, now 1 for 9. I don't care what the kicker says. Because you always have to dial in someone's self-confidence.
Exactly
that
right.
borders on delusion.
Right.
Yeah, I can make that. Hey, I made a 70-yarder in warm-ups. Yeah, there was no snap. There was no rush.
Crowd.
There was no pressure.
Right.
You're just out there having fun.
Right.
That always drives me crazy. And I know it's relevant to see what a guy looks like in pregame warmups, because if he's struggling from 50, you know that you should not try a 50-yarder. But you're always, hey, but what can you do? 46 left hash. But not when it's 4th and 5. Like, maybe it's better to try that. Like, it's just amazing to me. I can't remember seeing anything like it. I'm sure there have been decisions like this in the past. But when it happens on Monday Night Football and we're all watching and it's a game with extra anticipation and you throw in the Russell Wilson factor, where that's why they went to get him, that's what makes it so much more glaring to me, Chris, that they didn't let Russ cook. It's astounding.
It is. They let Russ watch, like you tweeted out after the game, which is amazing, no doubt. And again, Denver, they messed up some situations. They controlled the second half of the football game. I mean, they fumbled on the 1-yard line twice. You don't see that happen very often. But I think the thing that stands out to me, other than Russell Wilson wearing a Seattle green tuxedo, once again, the guy is a master at playing the politics of the game and the fan base and all of that. But the fact that, we didn't expect for Javonte to get that many yards on that play. So obviously they were expecting they're going to have to call another play here at some point. So obviously they were, hey, okay, let's call this. Let's get a short completion, and then I'll evaluate, out of our list of 4th down, got to have it plays, which one we got to go to. And then it got into, I think, where you're spot on, where you just go, oh, well, the kicker said, 46 left hash. That's good. Well, no, yes, like this is where the head coach has to take in all the information that he has here. And okay, yeah, Brandon McManus said that. Okay, that's great. He can do that from 46. Doesn't mean it's going to be automatic or go in, And like you said, all the emotions of the moment, the crowd, the rush, all of that all play into this to where, as a coach, you got to use some common sense in this little situation to go, wait, okay, I know he said like 46 left hash is makeable, but I think realistically, let's make it like the 40, 41. Maybe a 58, 59-yarder. I think that's where more times than not coaches go, okay, I can deal with that number. Well, yeah, you're getting into the all-time greatest kick category to win a football game on the road. That's one where you got to go, wait, I don't know if I'm going to listen to my kicker and what he said in pregame there. I got to evaluate it for what it is and take it there. And that's where I just, I don't get it. It's a shame. It really is. Nathaniel Hackett, there was a lot of things for them to be proud of. The offense looked good. Russell Wilson looked good, but this is all anybody's going to remember now is this little end-of-the-game moment. And now, for a rookie coach first game, he's going to be under the microscope of how he handles game situations, all because of this moment now. And that's where it stinks for Nathaniel Hackett and the Broncos. And there you go. See, walking off, telling them, hey, let's go. So he knew they were kicking the field goal.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.